Hi, Anthony G. Spincity. We have a great young lady by the name of Say in the studio. I'm going to have some words regarding her life and her career so far. Say, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Really glad that you could take time out of your schedule to speak with us as well.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, as we get straight into it, now, you're a singer, songwriter, and visual artist.
Yes, that's me.
And, before we get into it as well, we're going to just find out a little bit about yourself as an individual person.
Yeah.
Now, you're born in Manchester with French, Algerian mother, and
Yeah,
also a Persian father.
that's it. A bit of a wild mix there.
Wow, crazy mix. Now, tell us, what was it like growing up for you?
Yeah, it was just a pretty normal, average upbringing. Yeah, I went to school in a nice part of Manchester. It's kind of like countryside-y. But there just wasn't really like a music scene, I think,
Mm,
as such. So yeah, thank God my mum put me into piano lessons at like age 6. She was
wow,
like, you've got to learn an instrument. And it started with the violin, and I was so bad that she like threw my violin away. And then she was like, no, let's do piano, thank God. So yeah, it started like that, my sort of music, my experience with music.
hmm
And then, yeah, I just started listening to like big like soul voices. That's what really like was mind blowing for me. It was like the vocals.
uh-huh.
So like Whitney and Toni Braxton and Mariah. And
Brilliant.
yeah, and I kind of just got, I think one Christmas, I got the sheet music for like Whitney's greatest hits and Mariah's number ones,
hmm
and started like playing and singing at the same time. And I was like, oh, this is what I love to do. And I was pretty young, but then I slowly like realized it was a job, like it was a career, because I think in
Okay.
school they don't really like, they don't present music to you as a possible career apart from being like a music teacher.
Uh-huh.
I didn't really want to do. So yeah, and then I started like when I had my own pocket money and stuff, and I would go out and buy CDs and like analyze those little booklets.
Brilliant.
And I started like realizing songwriting was a job. Like not all artists wrote their own songs. So yeah,
Ah,
and that became like a huge obsession for me. And I started like studying lyrics and song structure um, and just getting really into songwriting. So I think I wrote my first song when I was like 13 or 14. It was awful. But yeah, and I've just been writing ever since and singing ever since, really.
that's brilliant experience. I mean, I can see by the way you're just saying it, the vibe that you're throwing off, that is something that's embedded that you've always really wanted to do, right?
Yeah, I like literally could not see myself doing anything else. I said this morning on an interview, like I would be doing all of this if it wasn't my job. So
Mm.
yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Brilliant. So from the age of 6, you've been thinking that way to the current age you are now. You've
Yeah.
also had collaborations with big artists like Chip and Wretch 32. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was lucky because my first management that I had when I moved, actually I wasn't living in London at the time, but yeah, I was managed by the same manager that managed Chipmunk. So I was lucky
Okay.
enough to just be around these guys in the studio and have them as like kind of big brothers at the time and like inspirations. And I got to watch their journeys before mine had really started. And yeah, it was eye opening, and I saw how hard they worked, and yeah, and so I used to do a lot of like backing vocals for Chip, and we did a
Ah,
song together called Dreams, which had the oh my gosh, what's her name, Gabrielle, the dreams can come true.
oh, okay. Big tune, big tune. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, so we sampled that in the chorus, and we performed that quite a lot. We performed it at BBC Radio 1's Big Weekend, actually. I don't know what year it was. I feel like it was around um and yeah, and Wretch was like my favorite rapper at the time, and probably still is actually my favorite UK rapper. He was on the remix of one of my very first singles, Music, that came out. So he was on the Music remix, and yeah, I didn't want anyone else on my song but Wretch, and yeah, he
Brilliant.
agreed to do it, which was amazing.
Well, it's good because you got the link up, so the vibe is there. So you just sort of emulate yourself, and it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Now, you've also supported as well big acts. When I say big acts, I'm talking like major stars like Neo, Brandy, and Boys to Men on their
yes.
UK tour. Tell us about that because that's a big move.
Yeah, they will always be like part of my like most fondest music memories. Like they will be the highlights of my career for a very long time. I can't see anything beating it. But yeah, we started small. Like I wanted to like perfect like my stagecraft. So we used to just go out, me and my manager, and sing like every single night in
Wow.
London wherever we could. Like London is amazing for that. You can literally find somewhere to go and stand
That's
on
right.
the
The
stage.
vibe, the elements are there.
Yeah, and so we did that for like 3 good years. I think we did what, like 200 odd shows or something like that. But they were
Wow.
tiny. Some nights I was singing to 2 people, but you get better and better and better, and you have to do those kind of shows to kind of like merit doing the bigger shows. Like you can't just wake up and jump on stage with
That's
voices.
right. That's right. I mean, it's like a steering ship, right? It gives you direction of where you should be going, the path, if you like.
Yeah, and I feel like you have to have, like, to some extent, struggled
Mm.
before you get the honor of doing something like that and going on tour with like your idols, basically. So
Brilliant.
so yeah, and when it happened, it was just like beyond a dream, to be honest. I think the biggest thing for me, opening for like acts like that I love, that are truly like my inspirations,
Mm.
it's like, oh my god, tonight I get to sing for Boys to Men fans, or tonight I get to sing for Brandy fans, and that's all I
Wow.
want. Like, because you know what amazing taste that audience has already, and yeah, it was an honor, really. So yeah.
That's great. That's excellent. And like I said, that's even more direction for you as well. I think that's brilliant. Now,
Yeah.
you've also written songs for major stars. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've always said like my career is like 50-50. So I'm an artist, but I'm also a songwriter for other artists.
Wow. Smart lady.
I couldn't separate the two. Like I don't know which one I love most, and when I'm doing one, I miss the other. So it's hard to separate the two. But yeah, I wrote a song basically for my own project when I was in LA like 5-6 years ago. It was a
Mm-hmm.
while ago, and sometimes as an artist you write songs and they don't fit your project, and that's cool. It doesn't mean it's a bad song. It doesn't mean, but
Timing, right?
yeah, timing and like subject matter and yeah, and so anyway, this song, we wrote it, and it was a cool pop song, but it was pop and I wasn't pop, and I kind of went in a direction that wasn't me. So anyway, the producer of the track, this amazing guy called Harmony, he's based in LA, but he's actually from London, and he was a producer on the track, and he played Ariana the song,
Wow.
and he was working on her first album at the time, and he'd done quite a few of the tracks. Like I think he did half the album or most of the album, and she loved it. She like cut the track straight away, and they called me and they were like, "Is it okay if we give your song to Ariana?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
Good move.
So yeah, that was like my first like major cut, and then after that, I got a publishing deal, and that allowed me to just like kind of write songs with people and for people that I wouldn't have met like in my like career trajectory before that, I guess. So that opened like a load of doors to write different styles of music as well. Like I wrote a lot of dance records.
That's
A lot
brilliant.
of, yeah.
So really, you've given yourself like two channels, right? You're not just relying on the singing, but you've also got like the foundation of writing music for big stars as well.
Yeah, but I feel like they both complement each other. Like like I said, I couldn't really separate the two. Like I am as much a songwriter, I think, as an artist. So yeah, like if I was just a songwriter, I would miss being on stage and expressing myself. And if I was just an artist, I'd miss kind of being in someone else's mind and writing someone else's story. So
That's brilliant. Well spoken. I do appreciate that. Now, as well, as being able to write your songs and so on, if somebody just as yourself, is trying to break out in the world of music, what advice would you recommend for them right now?
It's a really tough time because it's easier to release your own music, which is amazing. So I think if you're a new artist and this is what you want to do, you have to sort of get straight in there and don't be precious about things. Just release things and see how it goes. But I think also because of that, there's so much competition out there, and so many people releasing music that your music can get a little bit lost sometimes. And there can be so much pressure because there's like access to everyone's life through social
Yeah.
media. And I think that puts pressure on young people that haven't quite grasped that, you know, you should just
Brilliant.
stay
So,
in your own
so really some proper direction, some foundational direction from a manager or someone who knows what they're talking about really and truly.
Yeah, a good team. That's always, you know, my team for years has just been me and my best friend, and she manages me.
Brilliant.
And you know, and yes, just one person in your corner. That's all you really need to like believe in yourself and push you. Yeah.
Great. Now, will you be releasing anything next year?
Yes. So I've just released this year. The first single for my upcoming EP came out in August, and the second one just dropped a couple of weeks ago. So that's still fresh. It's called High. And the EP will drop in March 2021. So that's super exciting.
Wow. Okay, now what about if anybody wants to like get hold of your material music wise? What should they do?
Yeah, so I am on all like the major digital platforms, so like Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music, iTunes, Apple Music, all of that. You just have to type in SAI, so that's my name, and just type in the name of the track. So my two songs that are out at the moment are Million Bucks and High. And then I'm on all like the Instagram, all the socials, and it's at I am Say Music.
Brilliant, well spoken. Now we want to play the big tune right now that we've been playing on the radio. Million Bucks. Would you like to give a role play for that?
I would, yeah. Shall I introduce it? Yes. Okay. So this is Say, and shout out to Anthony G at Spincity.
I bet you think that I still write songs for you. Sorry to say that I'm not even thinking of you. And when you call, I always press decline for you. Yeah, yeah. And it's the same for all the guys before you. Now that I'm gone, you're emotional. I was around you, was comfortable. Except on my left, now you've woken up. I'm close to business, won't open up. There's no tag, cause there's no breaks. Bet you wish I was your wife. Bet you wish I had more time. There's a cue, so get a line. Like a million bucks. Sky high, my breath when you feel like what you can touch. Sorry, but you can't afford my love. Feeling like a million bucks. Sky high, my breath when